Have you ever washed your clothes and they still have a strange smell? Or have you noticed that your favorite clothes lose color and softness over time? This may be happening due to small mistakes in washing and storage that many people make without realizing it. The good news is that there are simple and effective tricks to make your clothes not only smell amazing, but also stay like new for much longer. Today, I am going to reveal to you 5 foolproof tricks so that your clothes always smell fresh and look impeccable, no matter how many times you wash them. Stay until the end, because the last trick is a secret that very few people know and can make a big difference in the care of your clothes. Washing clothes seems like a simple task. Detergent, water, and that's it. But the reality is that many times after washing, some clothes are not as fresh as we expect, and over time, the colors fade, the fabrics lose softness, and the clothes no longer look like new. If this has happened to you, it is not the fault of the washing machine or the detergent, but rather of certain common errors that can affect the durability and aroma of the clothes. The fresh smell and impeccable appearance of clothes depends on several factors: the way you wash them, the products you use, and even how you store them. The good news is that with small changes to your laundry routine, you can make your clothes smell amazing and stay in perfect condition for much longer. In this video, I will share with you 5 essential tricks that will help you keep your clothes always fresh and looking impeccable. These are simple tips that will make a big difference in the result of each wash. Before continuing, tell me in the comments, have you ever washed your clothes and they still have a bad smell? I'd love to know if this has happened to you and what you've tried to fix it. And if you like this type of advice, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss out on more cleaning and home care tricks that will make your life easier. Now, let's go with the first trick so that your clothes always smell good and look impeccable. Prevents moisture buildup in the washing machine and clothes. One of the main reasons why clothes do not smell good after washing is the accumulated humidity, both in the washing machine and in the clothes themselves. Many people take their clothes out of the washing machine and leave them in the hamper for too long before hanging them, which causes an unpleasant musty smell that is then difficult to remove. In addition, the washing machine itself can be a source of bad odors if it is not cleaned frequently, affecting the aroma of all the clothes. The first step to avoid this problem is, do not leave clothes in the washing machine once the cycle has finished. If wet clothes remain in the drum for more than 30 minutes, they begin to generate a musty smell that permeates the fibers. The ideal is to take it out immediately and lay it in a well-ventilated place so that air can circulate and moisture can evaporate quickly. If you use a dryer, make sure not to overload it, as clothes need room to move and dry evenly. The second step is, keep the washing machine free of moisture and detergent residue. After each wash, leave the drum door ajar and the detergent compartment open to allow air to circulate and the interior to dry completely. In addition, it is advisable to do a deep cleaning at least once a month. For this, you can do an empty wash cycle with white vinegar and baking soda, which will eliminate accumulated detergent and fabric softener residues, in addition to preventing bad odors and mold. Another effective trick is use white vinegar in every wash, as it helps remove any soap and fabric softener residue that may be trapped in the fibers. You just need to add half a cup of vinegar in the fabric softener compartment to ensure your clothes come out residue-free and smelling fresher. If despite everything, you notice that some clothes continue to smell bad even after washing them, they may need deeper treatment. A very useful trick is to soak them in a mixture of hot water with baking soda and vinegar for 30 minutes before washing them normally. This will remove any bacteria or debris trapped in the fibers and leave your clothes completely clean. By following these tips, you will prevent humidity from ruining the scent of your clothes and ensure that they always smell really clean. Now let's move on to the second trick, which has to do with something that many people do wrong without realizing it and that may be damaging their clothes without them noticing. Do not abuse detergent and fabric softener. Many people believe that the more detergent and fabric softener they use, the better their clothes will smell. However, this is a mistake that can cause garments to not only lose freshness, but also accumulate residue that affects their softness and color over time. Excess detergent not only does not clean better, but it can become trapped in the fibers of the clothing, generating an effect opposite to the desired one. Instead of removing dirt completely, soap scum builds up and, over time, creates a sticky layer that traps bacteria and odors. This is why some clothes start to smell musty or have a strange aroma even after coming out of the washing machine. Fabric softener, although it leaves a pleasant smell, can also be harmful if used in excess. Many times, fabric softener residue forms a film on the fabric that, in addition to reducing the absorbency of cotton towels and clothing, also prevents the clothing from being rinsed completely. This can make your clothes feel heavy and, instead of smelling fresh, you end up with an artificial scent that fades quickly and leaves you feeling dirty. To avoid this problem, the ideal is use the right amount of detergent according to the manufacturer's instructions. If the clothes are not too dirty, you can even reduce the recommended amount without affecting cleanliness. It is also important to choose a good quality detergent, preferably without overly strong fragrances, as the added chemicals can build up in the fibers. Instead of overusing fabric softener, a very effective trick is replace it with white vinegar. Add half a cup of vinegar in the fabric softener compartment. It will make clothes softer and fresher without greasy residue. Additionally, vinegar helps remove any remaining detergent and prevents the buildup of unpleasant odors. Don't worry about the vinegar smell because it disappears completely when the clothes dry. Another useful tip is choose natural fragrances to enhance the aroma of clothes. Instead of relying on industrial fabric softener, you can add a few drops of lavender or eucalyptus essential oil on a cloth and place it in the dryer or in the closet to keep clothes smelling fresher longer. If until now you used too much detergent and fabric softener thinking that your clothes would smell better, now is the time to change that habit. By reducing the amount of products and using more natural alternatives, you will notice that your clothes will not only smell fresher, but will also stay in better condition for longer. Now let's move on to the third trick, which has to do with the way you dry your clothes and how this influences their scent and durability. Dry clothes in the correct way to avoid bad odors. Many times, the problem is not in how you wash clothes, but in how you dry them. Drying clothes incorrectly can cause them to lose freshness, retain moisture, or even develop an unpleasant odor that is difficult to eliminate. If you've ever noticed that your freshly washed clothes have a strange smell after drying, you might be making some mistakes without realizing it. One of the most common errors is, do not hang clothes immediately after taking them out of the washing machine. Many people leave it in the drum for too long, allowing moisture to get trapped in the fibers and creating an unpleasant, mold-like odor. The ideal is to take the clothes out of the washing machine as soon as the cycle is finished and hang them immediately in a well-ventilated place. Another mistake is drying clothes in closed spaces without sufficient air circulation. If you hang clothes inside the house without opening windows or allowing air to circulate, moisture is trapped in the environment, which delays drying and increases the possibility of clothes acquiring a musty smell. To avoid this, try to hang your clothes in a place where they receive air and, if possible, some sun, as this helps eliminate bacteria naturally. If you use a dryer, it is important, don't overload it. Many people cram too many clothes into a single cycle, which prevents warm air from circulating properly between the clothes. This not only makes some parts of the clothes damp, but can also create an unpleasant odor. It's best to divide your clothes into smaller loads so they dry evenly and quickly. A trick to enhance the fresh scent of clothes in the dryer is add a cloth with a few drops of essential oil. You can use lavender, eucalyptus, or any natural fragrance you like. This will impregnate the clothes with a pleasant and long-lasting aroma without the need to use artificial softeners. Additionally, it is essential to ensure that clothing is completely dry before putting it away. Storing clothes that still have a little moisture can generate bad odors in the closet and even encourage the appearance of mold on the clothes. If you notice that some clothes are still damp after hanging them or taking them out of the dryer, leave them in the air for a while longer before folding them and putting them away. Drying clothes correctly not only prevents bad odors, but also helps keep them in better condition for longer. Now that you know how to do it, let's move on to the fourth trick, which has to do with storage and how it influences the aroma of your clothes. Store clothes correctly to keep them smelling fresh. Many people wash and dry their clothes properly, but after a few days in the closet, the clothes begin to lose their freshness and even acquire unpleasant odors. This is because the place where we store the clothes directly influences its aroma and its long-term conservation. A closet with poor ventilation, humidity, or dust accumulation can cause clothes to lose that clean smell and become impregnated with unpleasant odors that should not be there. One of the most common errors is store clothes when they are still slightly damp. Sometimes we think that the clothes are completely dry, but if traces of moisture remain in the fibers, an environment conducive to the proliferation of fungi and bacteria is created, which causes moldy odors. Before folding and putting away your clothes, make sure they are completely dry, and if necessary, leave them outside for a few more minutes. Another key factor is the ventilation of the closet. A wardrobe that is closed all the time, it accumulates moisture and odors that can be transferred to clothing. To avoid this, it is advisable to leave the closet doors open for a few minutes at least once a week, and if possible, place small cloth bags with rice or baking soda inside to absorb moisture. If you want your clothes to keep a fresh scent for longer, you can use bags with aromatic herbs, lavender bags, eucalyptus leaves, or cinnamon slices in drawers and shelves. These natural ingredients not only provide a pleasant smell, but also help repel insects and prevent clothes from acquiring bad odors over time. Another option is to place small cotton pads with a few drops of essential oil in the corners of the closet to maintain a soft and long-lasting aroma. It is also important to maintain the closet clean and free of dust. Many times, the dust accumulated on shelves, hangers, and drawers soaks into the clothes, causing them to lose their freshness. To avoid this, clean the inside of the closet at least once a month with a cloth dampened with white vinegar, and be sure to vacuum the corners where dust can accumulate. Another trick that works very well is store scented soaps wrapped in cloths inside the closet or drawers. The soap slowly releases its fragrance and leaves clothes smelling fresh without the need for additional chemicals. By following these tips, your clothes will keep that clean and fresh smell for much longer after washing them. Now let's move on to the last trick, which is key to maintaining the softness and impeccable appearance of your clothes without damaging them over time. Take care of the fabrics so that the clothes stay like new. Not only the scent of clothes is important, but also their appearance. Many times, our favorite clothes begin to fade, wear out, or look aged much faster than they should. This is not only due to use, but also to errors in the way we wash, dry, and store them. Inadequate care can cause clothes to deteriorate prematurely, losing their softness and that impeccable appearance that they had when we bought them. One of the most common errors is not separating clothes properly before washing them. Although we know that white garments should be separated from colored garments, many people forget that we must also differentiate between delicate and resistant fabrics. Washing delicate clothes with jeans or towels, for example, causes thinner fabrics to deteriorate faster due to rubbing against thicker fibers. Additionally, using water that is too hot on certain garments can cause them to shrink or lose their original texture. To better preserve the fabrics, the ideal is wash clothes inside out, especially in the case of garments with intense prints or colors. This helps reduce direct wear on the surface of the fabric and prevents colors from fading quickly. Also, if you use a washing machine, choose gentle wash cycles for delicate garments and avoid using excessive spin, as this can weaken the fibers and cause the clothes to wrinkle more. Another key factor is avoid excessive use of the dryer. Although it is a practical tool, the intense heat of the dryer can damage the fibers over time, causing clothes to become rougher and lose their original shape. Whenever possible, it is best to dry clothes outdoors, in a place out of direct sunlight to prevent colors from fading. If you want your clothes to maintain their softness, an excellent alternative is use white vinegar instead of industrial fabric softener. As we mentioned before, vinegar removes detergent residue and leaves clothes fluffier without damaging the fibers. You can also add wool balls in the dryer, which help reduce static and keep clothes softer naturally. Another trick to preserve the appearance of clothes is store clothes correctly. Many times, we fold clothes in any way or hang clothes that should be folded, which causes deformations in the fabrics. For example, wool sweaters or heavy cotton t-shirts should be stored folded in drawers to prevent them from stretching on hangers. By following these tips, your clothes will stay like new for much longer without losing their softness or freshness. Now that we have seen these 5 essential tricks, let's move on to the conclusion and one last tip so that your clothes always look impeccable with minimal effort. Now that you know these 5 essential tricks, you may have realized that the secret to keeping clothes smelling good and staying like new is not in using more products, but in applying the correct techniques at each stage, from washing to storage. Many times, we make mistakes without realizing it, such as overusing detergent, drying clothes in closed spaces, or not ventilating the closet, which ends up affecting both the aroma and appearance of the clothes. If you apply these tips, you will notice a big change in how your clothes look and smell. Not only will you avoid bad odors and premature wear, but you will also extend the life of your favorite clothes. Plus, small adjustments like replacing fabric softener with vinegar, drying clothes at the right time, and making sure your closet is clean and ventilated can make a big difference without extra effort. Now tell me in the comments, which of these tricks did you find most useful? Are there any that you already applied or one that you had never considered? I'd love to know your opinion. And before you go, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell for more cleaning and organizing tips to help make your life easier. See you in the next video with more tricks that will transform your home.